Okay, so we talked about how we need to develop our dark emotions, not really dark emotion, but our ability to show anger and express that, our ability to express our coldness towards people and our aggression. And so, following on from that, it is that what is a nice person? A nice person, and I think this was Jordan Peterson who said this, which was that nice people are harmless people, or people who can't defend themselves. And when I think about that, I believe it to be true. I believe it to be the correct definition of what a nice person is. A nice person is someone who live in fear of hurting other people. They live in fear of confrontation and not even causing harm to someone. It's just causing a minor inconvenience, a minor discomfort to people. And not only is it that they live in fear, but it is that they are defenseless. And so, to make that a virtuous thing, they characterize it and define it as nice. They define their inability to defend themselves with a good characteristic. The truth is that being nice is not honorable, and the reason why it's not honorable is the lived reality of the nice person. The nice person lives in resentment, in dishonor, in disrespect, in being taken advantage of. That is the evidence that being a nice person is not a good thing. If it was truly an honorable thing, then there would be some honor to it. There would be some positive to it, and obviously there are positives to it. Everything has advantages and disadvantages. So perhaps people like you, perhaps you're able to avoid confrontation and arguments, and there is some form of peace to a degree, but there is internal disharmony, and there is resentment that builds up, and there is anger, and there is frustration of being taken advantage of and not feeling appreciated. And so that is the evidence that it's not an honorable trait to have. We need to be able to be people who can cause harm to other people, but we restrain ourselves from that. We don't hurt people, even though we can actually hurt them. Even though we can inflict harm on them, we are able to have that restraint to not do that. That is what a powerful person is, because the difference is a nice person can't do that. So a nice person doesn't even have that test. They just can't help themselves. They're just nice. But a strong person has to be able to have a sense of control and restraint on their anger and on their emotions, and to not hurt people. But it is that they're able to, when they need to protect themselves, they can cause harm to other people. That is what we should aim towards. We should aim towards being the kind of person that can cause harm to people, that can hurt people if it is required. But we live in peace, and that is a form of safety. The example I can give is jiu-jitsu and the art of self-defense. People who learn jiu-jitsu, people who learn Chinese martial arts, the reason why they learn that is not to harm people, is not to hurt people, but it is for their protection. It is to have the ability to be dangerous, but to have that level of calmness and control, but to walk with the assurity that you're safe, that you can keep yourself safe. That is how you're able to walk with that power. You don't need to show people that you're powerful. You don't need to show people that you can hurt them. It's not the reason that you learn this art, and it is an art, because there is an honor in that. There is an honor in being able to defend yourself. Obviously, people can misuse that power. People abuse power. Some people know that they're able to hurt people, so over minor issues. They might start, it might be someone's looked at them the wrong way, someone's said something to them, and then they start using that power. This is not how you're supposed to use that power. It is when your life is in danger, when you feel that there's a threat, when you've shown them that you want peace, but they're still aggravating you, they're still continuing to be aggressive towards you. That is when you then need to show them that actually now I can match you. And that is a very powerful skill that we need to develop. That is what makes us people that can't be abused by other people, because people are hungry for weakness, for weak people. This world is hungry for weak people. They're on the lookout for weak people, and weak people don't survive in the world. That is the truth, and that is the reality. Weak people don't survive. And so if we want to survive in this cold, dark world, we need to be able to enter the dark side, but not allow it to consume us. We need to learn how to use our aggression wisely. We need to learn how to use our power wisely. And it's very easy to abuse that or misuse it. And that's why it's important to have that emotional regulation, because when you can't emotionally regulate, you can misuse it. But it's important to have that skill, and then also to be able to balance that. This is something I recommend other people to have, to build this skill within themselves. And it allows you to walk with less fear in the world. It allows you to walk with a sense of safety, a sense that you can protect yourself if you need to.